Hi loves, welcome back. Today we will be talking about the beat boops and also mirae. Again. Yes, you're hearing about mirae a second time right now. Today I want to praise their discography. I feel like praising the discography today and sing its praises to the highest heavens, okay? And I feel like the discography really needs more love. With the release of the third EP, Marvelous, I thought I would highlight one key point that they nail every single time in their discography. Sound design. My goal in 2022 is to just do videos whenever I feel like it or whenever I'm free because my full-time job really is in full swing. Like seriously, I'm even lucky to have time to even film this video or like record voiceover for this video because yeah, it's been like several weeks into my job and I'm starting to get a lot of jobs, a lot of work right now. Lots of lesson plans, lots to teach. You know, the hustle never ends, I guess. So yeah, just doing content that satisfies me and talk about what I like the most, which is music. Sound design is one of those things that I like the most and I really want to talk about it a lot because there's so much to go through about sound design. I don't know how much I'm rambling about this, but let's just say it's gonna be one heck of a ride. Let's talk about music, loves. Let's start from square one, everyone. What is sound design? In the simplest way I can explain, sound design is using digital tools to create sounds from scratch and customizing sounds into different types. You know, like using software and then just making sounds out of thin air, you know? Ever wonder how you can make sounds out of thin air? With the advancement of technology today, music can not only be made with analog instruments, but also can be made with digital software like Audacity, which is very capable of not only arranging and composing songs, but of making sounds from scratch. Can you believe it? Power of technology, am I right? Why does sound design matter? I want you all to look around you first and foremost. I want you to close your eyes and just listen to the sounds of wherever you are right now, your place, your house, Starbucks, transport, basement, wherever you are watching this video from. We don't realize this normally because we are accustomed to it to the point that it feels integrated into our lives, but sounds come out of many different places. The clock goes tick-tock, the water drip drops, things of that sort, you know. Listen carefully and you might hear that things create sounds as 1. Surface interact between one another, or 2. Sounds generate from different things. More importantly, because we are accustomed to having sound in everyday living, naturally when we hear it in any form of media, like video games, TV shows, movies, our mind instantly associates it with things of the real life and immerses us into their world. Video games are especially good at sound design as it plays into the immersive experience of the game, inviting you into their world. For example, you hear footsteps when the character walks, the ambient water sounds where you are underwater, and so much more. And get this, you guys, those sounds are made with digital design to mimic sounds in real life. They might be tiny and sprinkled throughout the game. They play a big part in immersing the player or viewer into the world of the media as if they're living in that world. This topic is so robust and I could talk about it all day if I could. When it comes to music, however, I always appreciate little details in the song that allows me to visualize a world in under 5 minutes. And within that little time frame, I wanted to live in that world forever. Yes. All of those little whooshes or beeps or clicks adds texture to the song. If done right, good sound design details in the song establishes a substantial and immersive listening experience, whether you choose to listen to it with or without visual mediums. One of the current K-pop acts that does this very well is mirae. I've mentioned them before in another video of mine talking about how good debut album puts a rookie best foot forward in terms of musical identity, creation, and they really nailed that actually with their first EP, Killer, which establishes a whole new world for themselves, you know, the whole futuristic motif and stuff like that. They really put out a spectacular debut album. Fast forward to today and they now have 3 EPs under their belt. This gives me plenty of material to go over how much they've incorporated good immersive sound design into their music. A lot of their music is electronic based and it plays into their concept really nicely as voice of the future. They are densely packed and potent with glitches and propulsive instrumentation. So how is there any room to add any tiny details in the song at all? Won't they be buried in the mix? Would there be any room for little glitches and sound design details at all? The answer is that rather than treating tiny sound effects as just another part of the instrumental, they use them to drive a narrative forward. While oftentimes they do the former in their songs a lot, it's those narrative-driven moments that makes me want to go back to their world more. And those little sound design moments make me consider getting a Disneyland fast pass into their world. Like, no lining up, just get me a pass to Futureland, baby. I know these are not part of the song, but whenever I watch their MVs, I always look forward to their intros, like the intro sequences of every music video they put out. Not only do they put me at ease, but I just find the sounds really well made and are a harmonious mix of realism and artifice. These sound effects just sound unreal for natural sounds like water, but it's befitting the world they portray in their music videos. I will never shut up about the wise sage portions of the Killer music video. They're so aesthetically pleasing, but the sound design elevates these sections a lot more. I want you all to close your eyes and just take in all this ambient goodness, take in all the water sounds, the sounds of the wind. Just take it all in. The ambient walls of sound resembles that of what feels like entering a dark cave with the crashing waves of a river. Slight echoes and slight panning of the wave sounds across speakers or earphones give the sound a very treaty feel. It adds texture and realism and makes us feel part of the world. Sometimes you can hear a tiny glitch sounds coming out of the lightning of the paintbrush, like in this part over here. It slightly pans across your earphones following the motion of the paintbrush. It's so unreal, but it's so non-threatening that you feel at home really quickly. But the star highlight portion of this intro bit is mid-music video where the same sequence comes back and the sounds of the ambient waves provide a contrast to the high energy of the song before, as well as the running waves of the lightning below cascading across the floor. I've talked slightly about the Doppler effect in one of my videos, but I never really go into it in detail, so pause the screen right now if you want to read the meaning of the Doppler effect. Basically, in the simplest way I can explain, the Doppler effect is like the further the sound goes, the softer the sound is, because the sound waves become smaller and smaller as the object goes further and further. That's the easiest way I can explain it. So the Doppler effect came to play in this part where the lightning sounds is the loudest when concentrated in the middle of the screen. And as the lightning waves spread across, Doppler effect reduces frequency of the lightning waves as it cascades, and that causes the sound to get quiet as well towards the end. So in your earphones you can hear a slight decrease in volume too. It's such a small yet effective detail that I appreciate so much, and it actually makes you feel like you are within that cave itself, confronting the big wise sage that is Junhyuk and having the cascading lightning just like running across the floor, and you can actually hear it. Other instances they did in amazing sound design work in the next two music videos are not as show-stopping as what Killer did, but is just as noteworthy. Like in the beginning of Splash, you hear waves from the sea. Pay attention to how it gently cascades back and forth in your earphones as the waves also go back and forth. Also, in the beginning of Marvelous, as DOPPLER runs away from the exit alarm, listen to how the alarm sounds muffle as the slow-mo sequence kicks in. This sort of sound design technique is effective in showing the perspective of someone in a brief moment of panic that everything happens too fast to process. That is basically what I've gathered from the intros of the videos. Intros are cool and all, but like, I know you guys are asking, Yasmin, what about the main songs? We're here for the main songs. Well, now we finally get into the song portion of the video, baby. However you consume music, be it just listening to the audios or watching the music video or live performances that come with the songs, you'll definitely find something to appreciate in the songs. Right off the bat, when you listen to the title songs, you notice right away of the large amount of glitz and electronic house sounds that colors the songs with the futuristic backdrop. B-sides vary from track to track in terms of genre, but they generally are also very electropop driven with occasional usage of pop rock and hip-hop genres. You'll be greeted with a myriad of beautiful sound effects that emphasizes their digital nature.
We make it high, high. Coming slow, la, la, la.
All this excites the ear as it picks up new details, and this kind of excitement really entices the listener to wanting to listen more of the song because it's interesting enough that the ear feels like they're part of the experience itself. Sometimes sound design also helps support the vocals of whoever is singing the part. For instance, in the pre-chorus of Bang Up, there's a chorale type sound effect that I'm 99% sure doesn't sound like real human choir that gives it a menacing and daunting feel, pairing really nicely with Junhyuk's low rumbling tone. Sound design also helps in text painting, which is mimicking the lyrics in terms of music production. I mean, for example, if someone sings the word high, the melody gets higher. Something like that. In the case of Killer, there are two standout text painting moments, and they both came from the same verse. Listen to when Kyle raps the word black hole, there's a warping low tone sound effect behind his voice that is as deep as, well, a black hole. Soon after, when he said the word animal, it is swiftly followed with what sounds like a wild animal like a tiger or a lion, befitting the lyrics. And if you watch the choreo along the song, the part gets even better when you see the way Junhyuk slides across the floor with the agility of a wild animal as the sound effect comes on when he says animal, like you know? So this sound design usage is not only a good song decoration, but it complements the audio-visual experience perfectly. All these different sound design techniques is what compels me to go back for more and gets me interested in their world. We are now in a generation of K-pop where every K-pop group needs to have some sort of lore or connected storyline, and sound design is one of the best storytelling tools in music to use in this generation. Seriously, I feel like with all the lore that is going on with K-pop groups at all, I feel like there is lots to explore in terms of how they incorporate little sound design details in terms of music, story building, world building, etc, etc. So mirae is not the only group that does sound design work. I'm sure there are plenty of other groups as well, so if you want me to talk about more groups and their sound design work, feel free to let me know in the comments, and I might consider analyzing them in a future video. I don't know. It depends on the time. I'm sometimes very busy. But yeah, no promises, okay? But you know, we'll see. I hope you all go give any of mirae's songs love right now and go listen to them right now. They are painfully underhyped with how well their music is made and how well their albums are made. The music production team in the group themselves really go hand in hand in creating a cohesive listening experience for all. So a round of applause to all of them. Yay! We have sadly reached the end of this video. Oh no, the video is ending. No. It's fun while it lasted, okay? Do let me know which other groups' music you'd like me to analyze and which groups also use sound design really nicely. I would love to read your comments. I'll see you all when I see you. And until then, take care, and as always, be excellent to each other. Bye, loves!